the first lockdown, I, I, I realised, obviously subconsciously, I decided to work out what it's like to drink a bottle of white wine a day, and had a really good time doing that. You know, pretty smashed through some white wine, but got to a point where I thought, this is getting out of hand now, and so curbed that slightly. But
Yeah.
the creative thing I was doing was gardening. I was doing loads of stuff in the garden because it was about this time last year, wasn't it? So it was sort of everything was starting to get going. So so that was my sort of creative outlet. And then painting, I started. I mean, I was doing little bits, but not loads. But I started doing a bit more recently, and painting stuff in the garden. So it's sort of all merged.
I was going to say, because obviously we've seen some of your gardening online. You've got your lemons and your composting that you've been doing. It's amazing. I mean, do you find these kinds of things, you know, the art and the gardening, are these good ways, obviously, you know, especially during lockdown, but just to relax and just get yourself into a good frame of mind?
Massively. I think gardening, well, any creativity, any making things is so good for your mental health, and gardening particularly because it's paired with the being outdoors, being around greenery, which they've done studies into, which show marked improvement of people's mental health. So it was a real solace for me, a real because I was working too much basically before the lockdown. I was working too much, getting a little bit sad, and not sad particularly, but just sort of a bit overwhelmed and a bit anxious. And gardening and painting sort of helped so much with that.